So they will not be joining us. We might get Justin at some point here, and I believe that Shauna is going to be zooming in.
She is.
She already is zooming in.
Yes.
Good. You can probably just unmute yourself forever whenever you want to, Shauna, so.
I am here, but I'm gonna mute myself because my kids are here, so you never know what will be
Got it.
happening around.
Thanks, Shauna. And I see we have a relative zooming in as well.
Anthony's going to explain the Black Point project.
Okay,
Shauna asked him to come to the
Great.
meeting and explain the project.
well, welcome, Anthony. Okay, so we have the Pledge of Allegiance first, so if we want to stand up and we will.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Anybody else in the air? We have our Zoom etiquette reminder, which I'm sure Shauna is familiar with. Were the minutes okay with everybody from November? Any issues?
Move approval.
Okay, can I get a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Great. Would anyone like to speak now, or do you want to wait a little bit, Anthony?
I can explain now if you want to go through our project.
Well, if you don't mind, I'd love to push you forward to the, just after the, you're just like 2 or 3 ticks further on the agenda, if that's okay, unless you got to head out.
Yeah, it's my wife's birthday, so I'm trying to get out of here. So.
All right, we'll move that up then. Go ahead, Anthony.
So what the plan is there's an existing cottage that, and then there's an existing garage. The cottage is coming down and we're gonna rebuild a new house in more or less the same footprint. We're rotating the house a little counterclockwise to where it was now to be more in line with the slope and to keep it away from the lake. I know that's some of the steep slopes behind it have been kind of the major issue going forward with the project. So the new house is going to sit right at the base of that slope. And then we're just going to create a riprap lined swale that basically protects the house from any kind of large events and things of water coming down it now. Right now, there's nothing behind the house. It just kind of, every time there's a storm, water does what it wants to do. It's maintained up above with the driveway. So it's pretty much just sheet flow that falls on top of the slope. And the slope is treed and it's got, lower vegetation and things of that nature that hold back any kind of erosion. But this is just kind of a secondary measure. So nothing can really pile up against the house as it can in larger events. So there is an existing septic system that we're going to be reusing. That's kind of the placement of the house has come between where we could kind of work with existing utilities. The septic tanks are going to stay in place and we're going to utilize the existing septic system, which is to the south of the cottage. The garage is going to stay. And then there is a landscape plan that was provided for. I know there was a couple issues with some non-native species that we are working to coordinating with the architect to fix. So if there's any questions, I could definitely answer them.
It's going to continue just seasonal use, I assume, or
For now, yes.
Yeah.
From what I understand as of now, yeah.
it'd be a tough drive down there in the winter.
Yeah, it is. I mean, the whole way's paved, but still, I'm sure they'll be using it when they can in the winter when it's accessible, but
Yeah.
for now it's seasonal.
Did we want to begin discussing it now or come back to this in a couple minutes, or what would you guys like?
Did Megan, get out? I hooked her up with Sarah Linda to go out and
Okay.
I didn't hear back. So I assume that happened, but
I'm not sure.
Okay.
She indicated to me that she couldn't be here today because she'd been exposed to COVID at work, so.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
just,
Sarah Linda has not gotten out there yet. She actually asked, inquired about that today.
I'm sorry, she asked what? Could you repeat
She
that?
asked me for the contact information.
Oh,
Didn't have it. I didn't know you
Ah.
could give it to her, Gary.
yeah, no, I had spoken to Meg or texted Megan and she said she was going to contact her. I gave her all of Sarah Linda, so she must not have done that. That's too bad.
Yeah. Okay. I know she wants to document it before demolition.
Sure.
I believe the cottage is from the 1800s. It's
Mhm.
old, so it
Wow.
needs to be,
Yeah.
isn't it, Anthony?
I believe so.
Mhm.
I know that the owners are willing to, to work with the Historical Society for anything they really want to do, so.
Okay, do we want to continue discussing this now with Anthony, or do we want to come back to this in a few minutes? Or Anthony, do you want to be here for our discussion, or?
If there's any questions right now, I'd like to answer them, and then you guys can discuss it, on a side note if you'd like.
So can I chime in to Shauna? Can you hear me, Shauna? Anthony
I
prepared.
can hear you.
So Anthony prepared that the slope analysis for you. Would it be helpful for us to see that map? Um,
That's up to the board.
Whatever, they might want to see the varying degrees of the slope analysis. That's the one, Kim. That just tells you the different degree of slope in those sections of that property.
And what are those colors? I can't tell.
You'd
Yeah,
have,
that was what we had a hard
you would
time.
have to zoom in on the table.
There's a table that's there and you can zoom
See
in on
the
it.
table, kick it over that way more. Like the green is whatever percent and under.
Gary, can you read that at all?
There you go.
Where?
0 to 15% is the green,
Yeah, 15 to 25 is, what is it?
25 to
Turquoise.
40 is the orange.
And then 40 to 100 is the purple.
You know, the turquoise is up at the road.
Yeah.
So the purple is the steepest, the orange
Yes,
second steepest, the
Right.
blue is, and then the green.
correct.
And the house is in the least, all that green is.
Right. So the house is in the green, but everything above it is steep slopes, considered steep slopes.
Very
And we're staying the new house will be out of the steep slopes. We're just gonna create a channel on the back side of it to protect the house in case of any kind of water coming down. The water can get around the house. So we're not cutting into it. We're actually kind of filling, like, we're gonna fill against the house to create a channel, a riprap line swale to protect any kind of sheet flow that comes across there. But like I said, most of the above drainage that comes across there is handled in a couple different ways. Like roadside ditches, and there's a culvert that goes to the north of the house that brings some water to the north of the house, the swale that kind of goes, it delivers water between the new boathouse and the existing dock that's there.
The fact that the existing house has been there over 100 years, that kind of speaks to the fact that
Yeah, I mean, the old house is just, it's just typical 1850s house built. It's nothing robust. There's no waterproofing on it or anything like that. And it's in pretty good shape.
still standing.
Yeah, it's still there.
Okay, does anybody have any questions for Anthony before he goes? Anthony, would you like to go to the RPO concert tonight? With your wife? We've
I'm
got-
gonna have to pass on that one.
All right, it's all right, then we'll let you get off this
Yeah,
one.
well,
All right, thank you very much. And if there's any questions, Pat, you can call me if need be.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, well, let's go back up to report from the development office. Shauna, do you have anything further you want to report, or you just want to chat about it when we get to them? I know we are taking one of
I
the,
have no comments at this moment.
okay,
Just FYI, we have 13 referrals today
Oh, wow.
for our deadline day. That's all.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how many will come to you, but it was a little overwhelming.
wow.
Wow.
There was a she just.
Can you hear us, Shauna?
I think she just muted the wrong one.
Yeah, I heard a young person,
heard
so
it.
maybe she just turned off.
A
her-
little
Yeah,
voice,
Yeah, a little
I'm
voice.
guessing she can hear us because it's showing up
Cute.
as,
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is cute.
Hi, guys.
Okay, sorry,
Hi.
there was a muting issue. Okay,
Yeah.
great. Anything particular from CIC, Pat, that was?
Chris reported everything that happens in the development. You know, what he handles and
Yeah.
just various, all the miscellaneous things that happen in the
Okay,
back door there, you know, all the different kinds of things he's working on. That's what it was about.
I'll mention in my town board report, I don't know if everybody heard, we got a letter back from a constituent named Tim Moran, and it says, I just wanted to thank Eric Obenauer for his thorough article on the effects of climate change on the Finger Lakes region. As he pointed out, the area is much better off than other parts of the country and the world, but I didn't realize the subtle damage climate change is causing here. Although there's not much more I can do about it, I already have an electric house with solar panels, and geothermal heating and cooling, and an electric car. There's still a few considerations I hadn't thought of. For example, as I plant trees I hope will last for generations, I'll stop planting spruces and maples and switch to varieties that will be happier in a warmer climate. It's the best article I've seen in the newsletter. Thank you, Tim Moran.
That's very
Excellent.
nice.
Thought you guys would like to hear. Somebody's reading the newsletter.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's great.
Did you send me that?
Yeah, I can.
Very
forward it to
nice.
Yeah, well written.
Mhm.
you. Okay, PRC, well, ordinance committee, I don't think we have anything particular, although everybody should
They're gonna
know,
do solar
yeah.
still.
Mhm.
If anyone's interested, Monday, December 5th, is it 9? When is it? Is our next ordinance meeting. Yeah, at 9 here. That's gonna be a big one where we're really getting into short-term rentals. So if anybody has an
Can
interest.
we
in
zoom into
short-term-
that?
Yes, please.
That sounds interesting.
So that's gonna
Monday-
be
Monday
Monday
at
the 5th
9.
at 9. So
Okay, cool.
there's gonna, and I would, if you know anybody that has a short-term rental or is thinking about short-term rentals, please encourage them to attend as well, because I'm trying to make sure any stakeholders in the issue are represented. So,
Mhm.
so there's some big things under consideration, like, for example, Victor only does hosted short-term rentals. That's under consideration. So,
Mhm.
so a lot of big things. Anyway, so PRC, so our first one is back to the project that we were just hearing about there from Anthony. And I don't know, did you want to present, you had a workup on this, right, Gary?
No, I did not. I was. kinda
Okay,
waiting
was it a
for-
different one that you and
Yeah.
Garrett, you and Eric went to?
We looked at the other
81,
three.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, cool. So was there anything further or comments further that we wanted to have in the discussion on the Black Point Drive property?
He said that they were working with the architect to revise landscaping, so that's a good thing. Because they should focus on native
Yeah,
wherever they
natives,
can.
yeah. Mhm.
That's good.
Yeah. We made him aware
Yeah.
that was what the desire was, so.
Now, was that all
That's good.
trees on that steep
I
slope?
haven't been down there.
I
If you
didn't
pick
know.
up the
Yeah.
pictometry, it's probably would help.
Yeah.
If you went to the
Mhm.
Encore site, you could maybe get a good idea of it.
Yeah, it's wooded. I don't know
Yeah.
what species are. Obviously, we don't want to.
Anything's better than
No,
nothing,
then
yeah.
they,
One
Anthony
of
said
those
they
is
don't
steep
intend to
slope, yeah.
disturb, so
Yeah.
that's a good thing.
Yeah, yes, that's what I was interested
Yeah,
to hear, is that they're
yeah.
not going to disturb anything.
That's just getting construction equipment down.
Can
there
you
is gonna
imagine
be,
that?
Yeah.
They might have to come in on the lake.
Yeah,
Barge.
I would imagine that's.
I mean, a lot happens on through barges.
Bill Green coming on over. So.
Yeah, wouldn't that be something?
Yeah.
That's how we build our boathouse, was on
Oh, yeah.
through the barge.
Oh, yeah.
But It's basically a boathouse on the land this month.
So it's
52.
You're certainly not gonna be constructing in
Black
February.
Point, there you go.
Just can't get the number right tonight.
I've actually seen a large backhoe lowering a smaller one down a slope
Oh,
one time,
wow.
which I thought was insane. But
That's
So,
terrifying.
you know, those pictures are taken, I think, typically when leaves are down.
Yeah.
But you could tell there's a lot of hardwood trees there on the bank.
And the house is right where it's showing the number there, right? And
Yes, that's the
boathouse To the
house.
south.
Mhm.
Yeah, they'll definitely want to put in natives because you've got that woodland around there. So,
Okay, so
5
5
and
to
6
6 trees.
Pretty well thought out.
Looks like they have some trees to the south as well.
And
On
the
the lake
the
shore.
engineer she did address the MRB letter, and that just came in today. And I shipped that over to Shauna, whether it made it to this page today, I don't know.
Probably not.
I think it did, because
might.
we received it, but thank you for that. The planning board will get it.
Yeah, good, good.
Shauna, did you have any comments on it?
No, I don't.
And they're leaving the vegetation that's down farther by the lakeside.
I believe so.
I believe they're keeping as much as they can, and they seem to be working with the contours of the land. Yeah, that's definitely a challenging site access wise,
Mhm.
both ways.
Okay, well, if we're,
So
any recommendations you want to make?
I would say native species for landscaping.
Mhm.
Um, Preserve as much of the,
Leave intact as much as the vegetation as possible,
Yeah.
right?
yep.
And we were trying to get photographs. We didn't have a photograph from the lake proper looking, you know.
Yeah,
But Anthony was maneuvering photometry and getting to where you could, get a pretty good view of from the lake toward the shore.
so you need a
So-
drone at this
Yeah,
point.
Anthony needs a drone. Christmas present.
Yeah,
go.
well, there's insurances and things. There's certain legalities about drone surveying and, yeah.
My,
Yeah.
my niece is getting her drone license, so
Yeah.
yeah, I know there's stuff you have to do.
Yeah,
Yeah, there is.
Well, there you go. Now you got to contact a drone operator.
There you go.
Very good. But yeah, the vegetation will help screen and
Yes.
stuff, so I think you'd have to be like right directly out from the way it looks to
Yeah.
see the house.
Okay. We ready to move on?
Mhm.
Okay, so the next one is 81 there, and that's on Hickox Road. I was talking to Shauna a little earlier and she said this is a pretty, nothing really too unusual with it, other than there's a lot of NRI features to the subdivision lot.
It looked pretty straightforward.
And it's coming off of a very large lot.
Yeah.
Yes, the parent parcel is over 100 acres. This is the Miller, part
Miller.
of the Miller farm.
Mhm.
Yeah, and they intend, there are no development plans at this point. I think that they're gifting the land to a granddaughter. But when she does want to build, she's already expressed that it would be out of the woods. She would preserve as much as she could.
Mhm.
We've asked for a better survey that shows the meets and bounds of the parent parcel. So we're hoping to get that before planning board. It's very hard, even with the overall property map, to see, we can't approve a subdivision map like this. So we've asked for a more detailed one.
Is that the sloping on there that we're looking at?
So you've got some slopes, some wet, there's a stream, floodplain, there's a bunch of stuff, wetlands. You got them all, probably some successional forest as well.
We don't know where the building would be when they.
It's just a
eventually do it.
subdivision, not a building.
Yeah.
So I think she talked about nestling it up. I'm pointing to my screen like you can see it.
Good job.
Hold on, let me share. Actually, no, that's fine. You don't need to share my screen. Where the wood line it says tree line, it's about a third of the way over.
This,
Yeah, that's the wood line. Mhm.
Yeah, I think nestled down by maybe 1004 contour.
there,
Maybe, yeah, but obviously we will condition anything on mindfulness and of the NRI features of a site plan.
Okay, so this is wetland, this is FEMA floodplain, and this is the stream right here.
Yeah,
What's the current usage of the land?
I think it's
It's
farmland.
farm,
It's
yeah.
farm.
Yeah,
It's
this
the
is
Miller
it.
Farm.
Yeah, so
Right
is it, is it considered prime farmland?
I don't know, did the ag committee do a
The ag
review?
committee.
Do they look
have
at
anything to say
subdivisions
about
at
this?
They do look at subdivisions. I think we did send this to them. I don't know. I can't remember. There's been so many.
I know there was a couple, but I don't know which ones.
Yeah, was this may have been one of them. Um, And now I know the Millers are farmers.
There would be a response of some kind in the packet, would there not be?
I'm sorry.
If the ag committee made a response, there would be
Their
something,
meetings
right?
next week.
Okay, so they're yet to meet on it.
Yeah, I don't think they've met, right? Because they postponed a meeting.
Okay.
Do we know if this is the edge of the property or in the middle of the 100 acres, or
It's
we
at
don't
the,
know?
it's at the south. Go up, shrink it a little, Kim, so we can see the inset sketch. See what it says overall, that's the whole parcel. See
Oh,
lot
okay.
2, it just sits in the southeast corner there. Lot 2 is this parcel that we're talking
So
about.
lot 1 is
Is the
1 and
rest of
2
the
together
farm.
is the 100 acres, and then 2 is the.
Lot
okay,
1 is the rest of the farm.
Do we know what's further
what
south
size
what's between
of
them
the-
and
what-
Bliss?
Do you know what the
Is that
size
also
of
farm?
the second parcel is?
He should have acreage on there.
Is there acreage to it?
Well, it says
What's the acreage
says
on lot
it's-
2?
It's lot
108.
2 is 7 or 8, and lot 1 will remain around 100, I believe.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, it's currently 108 and change, and lot 2 is 788, so,
Okay.
or 789. So,
Well, I'd like to see them preserve the big part for farmland, all right.
well, that's why I'm wondering,
Can't
is
pave
are the
everything.
lots closer to Bliss Road farmed?
well, you could pull that up on pictometry also, and you could see, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, that's not really us
That
as
would
much
be
as
an
ag
interesting-
Yeah,
anyway,
right.
but,
Well,
but then you can get a feel for what it looks like, you know. I don't know
I
that
like
there's
that it's
a-
at the edge of the property,
Yeah,
but
I
I don't
do
know
too.
if
I
it's
like,
just smack
you know, I
dab in the
think
middle of a
they've
farm
provided
field,
it as well as they can to
Yeah.
preserve farmland, which is good.
which I would imagine they would be doing anyway.
There you go, Hickox.
I'm being interested in breakfast, lunch and dinner. I hate to see farmland getting paved.
Mhm, Me too.
Right.
Okay, so. County Road 32 in Hickox.
Oh, is that Miller Park?
This is
This is
their address.
Yeah.
'Cause we didn't
That's
have
the
a-
owner's address.
Yeah, we didn't have an address for the parcel. I assume it's
It's-
probably.
You could do the tax map thing in there. I think.
Us,
Or just the sketch, and you can get a,
The tax map will just give you the whole Miller.
Yeah. if you
go
could-
there, so
yeah.
you gotta find Hickox and Bliss, and
Yeah.
So
County
it's-
Road
See the
32,
roads, yeah.
right at the
Yeah.
corner is lot
Right
1.
there, yeah.
yeah.
Where's Bliss?
So this is lot.
Across the street, I think.
Yeah, I think it's the one across. the
It's
street.
across the street,
I think we need.
down,
to-
down, down.
The other way.
Yeah.
Other way, yeah. And.
I think it's
Where's Bliss?
here, honey.
Oh, okay.
Up here, up further. Yeah. Go up. It's this. Yeah. It's this here.
Yeah,
and
you
this
can
is
see
where
the
lot is
stream and
here,
where the lot
right
would
there.
be there, yeah.
Oh, it's on that
the
side.
house like
Yep.
that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so where's Miller Park though? What, am I crazy or is this near Miller Park? No, this is not near Miller Park.
The other Miller.
The other Miller.
I'm getting confused.
32
by
and
Bliss.
21, you gotta find Route
Yeah.
21.
It's farther.
Okay, yeah, Hickox, I'm
Farther
thinking Hickox
east,
is
yeah.
being 21. Yes, that's not, okay, 32. I gotta put my, I gotta put it in my
They have a big
phone,
farm.
'cause I'm so
Mhm.
lost right now. Yeah.
Here's Bliss Road. Just
Hmm,
go,
Yeah, go up with a little bit and then you'll find 21 and
There's 21, go up
Okay.
21, and then you'll
And
find,
go up
there's
21,
the
and
trails of
there's-
Miller
Yeah,
Park.
yeah,
There
yeah.
you go.
And so we're over there
Yeah, we're way away
on,
from that,
Mhm.
yeah.
on Hickox. Okay.
Mhm.
So the lot's big enough that when they
Yeah.
do eventually
Mhm.
build, they sort of avoid those NRI sensitive
Mhm.
areas, I would think.
Yeah, I think they'll,
So
I
what,
think
what
it's pretty
stream
good
is this?
placement.
Pardon me,
It
Kim?
goes into Sucker eventually. They all
Yeah,
seem to.
that's a sucker.
Sucker.
Yeah.
Interestingly, I have my husband's location service on my phone. He's currently driving past this property. It's really
It's
weird.
getting dark, you should say, hey, take a look at that while you're driving by.
Tell us about it.
That's so funny.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, I think they've done a good job of dividing to keep most of the farmland
Yeah, that's
intact
what we were
and
interested in.
using the parts that is.
Didn't we have I think we had another one divide right near this earlier too.
We had the Kiewit that was split into 3.
Yeah.
yeah,
Not
that's
too far
on,
from
that's on the,
there.
co-
That's on the
Yeah.
other side of
Hickox and
32.
32,
Yeah.
that's,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
All right, cool.
Okay.
Anybody have any comments or concerns? Just to make sure it's going to the ag committee.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, I mean.
There's
it
no
isn't
plans
like-
as of
yeah.
yet,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, it's just for the subdivision, I think that's still just for their farmland review. I think it still makes sense for ag committee to see it.
Yeah.
But I think we have no,
Not really, no. I think they've done a good job of looking to see where they can divide it to keep the good farmland intact.
that was kind of scary.
Oh, Justin.
Is it Justin?
Uh,
He's kind of looking scary. I'll be right back.
You get to hear me make a noise.
They must lock the doors to keep the people coming in for court.
It's the way they control, because sometimes there'll be people lined all the
Right,
way down.
yeah.
So
Don't want anyone coming in front of the line, I guess.
they always give me like the evil eye when I like just walk up to the door and get let in.
There must be protocol.
They're busy. A lot of,
Yeah.
A lot of traffic, I think.
a lot of revenue.
Oh, yeah. There are places where you know the revenues are out.
Hi, sorry for scaring everybody.
Oh, that's okay.
We're good, we're
We're
good.
happy to see you.
Sorry, Justin. Okay, so where were we? We're good to go with 81, correct?
Yes.
So, yes.
Okay. Shauna is driving, I think, right now, so she may not be able to say hi. She had to grab Theo, so. Okay, so we're good to go then on 81 and 77, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so on to 80,
So we officially had no real comment other than
make sure Ag sees it.
Mhm.
Did we start at 4:30?
Why?
So I read the top this time and it said 5.
Oh, did it say 5 still
So I did it the reverse.
from last time?
Oh,
Oh, yeah, it does say
sorry.
5. Oh,
I
I'm sorry.
apologize.
I'm sorry, Justin, that's
my
my.
problem.
I was like, gosh, should I send an email?
Don't read the damn agendas. I mean.
I didn't last time, and that's why I was here, like, I was early for
You
the
were here
first.
4:30 last time, and then this time you gave 5. Assume 4:30 unless you've been otherwise informed,
Okay.
let's put it that way. Sorry, Justin, and thanks
No,
for
no
bringing that to our attention.
Stop paying attention. Always gets me in trouble.
Okay, so we didn't, all we basically did is we went through the Venetia property and actually Pat's son was here to answer some questions about what they were doing. And we just basically, this one's just basically a subdivision, so not too, we're just indicating that Ag should see it since it's farmland, so. Okay, so 85.
Yeah, so, we looked at, Eric and I drove around very briefly.
Okay.
Visited these places, took a few pictures. So what,
Oh, thank you.
this is a proposed single family home residence being built on a smaller lot. Just really wondering about the lot size, which is like 1.8 acres, I think. I don't know what the limits are.
It's
In that
Brickyard and
particular-
what? Brickyard and Thomas?
Yes.
This is, Brickyard, north of Yerkes, actually.
North of Yerkes.
Yeah,
So that's in the AR2, so it should be 2 acre lot.
2 acres,
Mhm.
okay.
So they'll probably need a variance for that.
Yeah,
then.
so it's a 1.39 acre lot. So it's gonna be a 1,300 square foot home, looks like it was a single story. It's gonna have an attached 736 square foot garage. If you wanna pull up one of my pictures.
There's one.
Yeah, okay.
It's
You wanna
fabulous.
look at Encore first, and so people
Sure.
see where
Just get it.
we are.
Brickyard.
You do the
So-
tax map, just kind of
Yeah.
the tax map thing. Not bad turning that guy away. Go stand in the
I didn't
cold.
know that was what was going on.
Not letting you in our kitchen. It's like, what's up with Justin? He gets special privileges.
I felt bad because I saw the people waiting there outside the court too.
Yeah.
Well, they do give you the evil eye when you walk right in.
Well, that's why I wanted to get you in through the kitchen because
He
it's.
beat me.
Yeah.
So it's north of Yerkes, south of Paddleford Brook. And actually, you look at the federal wetland maps.
Can you zoom
and,
out a little bit, actually? Just a
And there is wetland associated with Paddleford up there. But it's on the site plan, we'll see they actually denote an area of wetland buffer, which encroaches upon the northern section of the site where they're going to be developing. But the house is going to go kind of in the southern part of that, but yeah, if you want to look at my pictures.
Well, that's really wet area in there.
That's the one.
Phragmites without end, yeah.
Yeah, and north of there, this is, so actually, this is part of the wettest part of the parcel, and that's kind of the southern end, where they're not going to be building. There's a little bit of a swale there, going right up to the road, but there's no culvert. So, although it's a little damp, it's not flowing water going through them there, but it's apparently is kind of encroaching upon that Paddleford wetland designated area. Just some scrubby trees, and that's all there is on the parcel to be developed.
Is it within the Paddleford Brook? Do we know?
No, it's,
It's
oh,
not.
the green.
The one right
greenway.
behind you there? It's
Oh,
right along the
I'm
green.
sure it's the Greenway.
Yeah,
sure it
yeah,
is, yeah.
greenway would be.
It's very high groundwater in that area
Yeah.
because it is flowing below the ground to the brook, so you are in high groundwater area.
So, surprisingly though, even though it had been raining quite a bit, it was pretty dry and the soil. We go to the other picture.
Spongy soil.
Yeah, I mean, the soil looks great. I mean, I'm just gonna take a bucket back to my house. It's just very, very dark, silty loam.
Because
Which,
it's been undershrub,
yeah. So you can see
They've
they actually
cleared it.
started doing some
Yeah.
excavation. There's a silt fence they've already put up. The house will go kind of above that silt fence area. So there's, a bit of a slope there, for sure. I don't know what they took out, if there were larger trees there, before they started doing some of their.
We could
grading.
probably look at Encore, because it will be from a while ago.
You can also
Yeah,
scroll the
yes.
year in Encore as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so let's see.
You want to zoom in? No, I told you to zoom in.
Was the whole parcel cleared when you were there?
That area to the to the north. I think I was saying south, I meant north. Here to the north is, was still had some scrub. That was that first picture
Okay.
we looked at. So the house would actually be on the southern portion of that.
You're talking.
Yeah,
Right in there, right in there.
farther upland, yeah,
Yeah. Right
which would be
along there.
good because they would certainly have wet feet down.
Yeah, yeah.
So it looks like it's been pretty,
You know,
oh,
it has been a very, very long dry spell.
So
The
all
ground is
those
soaking up
trees to the
more
north there
moisture.
were cleared.
There,
This is
The
old,
scrubbies,
that,
yeah.
that's in 2006.
It's
Yeah.
06.
Yeah, but there, that one, if you stop in that one, where it's green, go back a little there, yeah. You can see that those look like they were, might have been actual
Yeah,
trees and not just
yeah.
scrub,
Right, but the areas of the house.
but that's already cleared.
Has been cleared.
Yeah.
Yeah, in that first picture I showed, there's just some very scrubby looking vegetation.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, those trees that are still standing.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's a Schoharie and Odessa silty loam,
Mhm.
which is described as moderately high permeability and moderately well drained, but erodible.
Stuff, yeah.
But they identified as very fertile, very
Oh, yeah,
productive.
it is. Well, it's actually stream bottom, sort of, probably
Yeah.
the stream went through there at one time, you know, it deposits the sediment, so it is very fertile.
Yeah.
Some of that looks like buckthorn.
Chop it out.
Very familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awful stuff.
So then this understory honeysuckle makes too.
It's a buckthorn forest from your house all the way over
Probably
there.
brought up under-
Yeah.
I'm heating my house with buckthorn. I really am.
You're getting revenge. That's
Wow.
great.
I use it for biomass in my
Throws-
swells. It's great.
Yeah, it throws a lot of heat. It's a fruit wood.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so any recommendations that you guys? have?
I said there's no designated endangered species affected by the project. Federal and state identified wetland associated with Paddleford Brook does approach the northern section of the parcel. The site plan does not make any reference to this, or it does make reference to this, noting the assumed 100-foot wetland buffer. We can see that on the site plan. It would not appear that grading or construction will impact on that area where there is the wetland. So, I think it'd be nice to have a landscaping plan. Somebody
Yeah,
that
Kim,
makes
can
it
you
grow
pull
there
up
well.
the site
Yeah,
plan?
look at the site plan, doesn't have
Are
too
we
much on
okay
it.
moving forward without a landscaping plan on this property, or do you want to ask to see it again when a landscaping plan is available?
It'd be nice
You wanted to say,
to-
Site plan.
Site plan.
lost all train of thought.
I'm like, you put them all there.
I did, but that doesn't mean I remember.
Well, that's not very exciting. There we go. Okay,
Septic.
Oh, that's okay. So they get
Yeah.
split.
Mhm.
So the septic's gonna be down the hill, which is probably good.
they have water there or no? I'm trying to.
There is Farmington
There is water. there.
water.
So like saying that their leach field is kind of split instead of
Mhm.
just going all the way down.
Yeah.
It's just a conventional leach field. Would that imply that there is perks?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That
it's
soil
got
would
it,
perk
yeah.
real quite well,
Set
yeah.
this up pretty well,
Mhm.
yeah.
Do we want to recommend geothermal? Like I think we're trying to do. in general.
Yeah, sure.
Well,
This is within folks' budgets. It's a great idea.
yes, and
I guess we could say perhaps the property owner would consider it,
Yeah,
because it's costly.
yeah,
Lot of
and it's a
fun.
matter of, the other thing is it should be seeded down during the winter with winter rye or something that'll sprout big hurry.
Mhm.
You get 5 days of sun on rye and you've got cover then, and it'll keep that from washing.
I think at a minimum, they need to make sure it's covered in straw too, right, per
Yeah.
town code.
Yeah. And just some sort of broadcast soil erosion, seeded or straw or both. would be good.
And we're saying they are gonna need a variance because of the lot, because it's only one.
It would appear that way. Shauna, are you back? Are you still in transit?
Hi, no, I'm back. I'm back. What was the question?
It looks like the lot size, this is the Brickyard Road, site is only 1.39 acres. Is that, we're thinking that they need 2 acres?
I think it's in the AR too.
They're not, the lot is existing, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
There's no subdivision involved with this. It's just a site plan, so it's pre-existing, so the size is irrelevant.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, and there's no issues with the setbacks or lot coverage, obviously. So I didn't have any other suggestions.
Anybody else?
Pretty straightforward.
I think landscaping, knowing what they want to do would be nice.
Do we want to wait to say we want to wait and review it again after a landscaping plan's been submitted? Or are we comfortable with not doing that?
I personally think it's fine like it is.
Just make the broad point of
Yeah.
try not to do a
Yeah.
planting of
And
invasives.
I think the
or
the
try to
landscaping is
accommodate
most crucial on
locals.
the lake.
Recommend native
Natives,
species,
yeah.
native trees, shrubs, whatever.
Especially
And
trying-
recommend winter coverage for
Yeah.
open soils.
when everything fits, but we always want to see more for this away from the stream if possible.
Yes.
What was that?
Well, they
Just-
are pretty much, I think, as
Yeah.
far away from that wetland as they can get. It's
Yeah.
really wet
Yeah,
soils out
here's
there.
actually the wetland
Mhm.
map around Paddleford.
Mhm.
Brook is here and the house is gonna be probably right around here. I think. Yeah, there's Yerkes. So. This is a great, I
Gary,
had not
can you
visited that site.
face that at the
before.
camera for just a second over there,
Oh.
just so that it's officially somewhere. I don't know if you can see that or not.
It's on record.
Yeah, the folks to access this is National Wetland Inventory and
Mhm.
state kind of overlaps with it. Very easy to use.
Any more comments on it? The next one, 86 and 89. Shauna, it sounded like you thought maybe these plans weren't fully complete yet for our review and we might require some additional information before reviewing them.
Yes, are we talking about, is it Alverman?
This is
Sandy.
Sandy Beach.
Sandy.
Oh, yeah, Sandy Beach is not ready to be reviewed.
Okay, so we'll,
We deemed it incomplete once we kind of dove into the review. And they building, we have 2 for garages. This plan is not complete, and we have another one actually on Lakeview Lane that isn't as well, so you can skip over that.
and then the next one is actually Alverman, so that,
They're
which I
not
know you
ready.
said was not ready yet either.
Yeah, they wanted to pull that off. They called me, their architect called today.
I got pictures of both of those sites.
Do you want to look at them at all now? You're welcome.
Well,
I mean, he went through all the trouble.
These are gonna come back, right, Shauna?
Will you be with us in January?
Maybe virtually.
Will I be with you?
No, I was talking to Gary.
Oh, I was gonna say,
Of course you will be, Shauna. You're not allowed to leave.
Nobody gets any guarantees, yeah.
No, this is true.
I can't compel Gary to live here all the time, but. Okay, so that takes us then all the way past all of our
Yeah.
PCRs.
But there are
Yes.
pictures that Gary took. I did put them
Okay,
in
good.
the board docs, so if you,
Okay.
these come back, we can look at
Yep.
those.
And maybe if we get some decent weather, we can consider heading down to them as well, so. Sandy Beach, by the way, is still floating around in as a zoning issue with the ordinance committee. It's just, there's a couple things that have pushed it a little further down on the priority list, so it is still on their list, so. Okay, so that takes us to old business. I think is everybody good to go? The next one is Justin doing the Christmas tree recycling?
Yeah, those should have, I CC'd you on that. It was just, I kind of cut and pasted from both the DEC and Arbor Day regarding kind of a greener holiday, just tips for making it greener as well as different things to recycle or do with the Christmas trees when you're done with them.
Awesome. And you've got everything you need for the electric boats in January?
Yeah, I'm started a conversation with a salesperson at Sager Marine,
Okay.
and they have them there, and I'm gonna go and meet with him and see if I can get some brochures and have a conversation.
How cool.
Nice.
Very good.
We can get some pictures or
They're rather
something to
pricey,
liven
Oh,
up.
yes.
people's-
Well,
but there are folks on our lake that are able to
well,
do
donate,
electric
yes,
boats if they so
yes.
choose, so that's nice.
I'd be curious to know what they do for the sounds. It's
Yeah.
probably absent for safety.
Yeah,
I
so
mean, if they could change all the jet skis to electric.
That would be,
Oh,
nice.
that would be wonderful.
That would be
I'll
nice.
ask about electric jet skis.
Yeah, actually
Yes,
do
too.
ask about that.
It's
Now
not
I
like
want
that.
to
I will
electric
do that.
They want the sound,
Let them know it's windsurfing.
right. So if you- should you
Wind
throw-
powered jet
throw your
skis.
Christmas tree in your farm pond, is that?
You can, yeah, you just gotta check to make sure it's okay with where you're putting it, more or less. That was actually the article I snagged from, I think it was the Arbor Day one. They actually mentioned that, but just to check with local authorities and make sure it's good.
Ah.
Provide habitat for like feeder fish
Right,
and stuff.
right.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Okay, so, and you missed earlier, there was a nice comment sent in by one of the constituents about how much they enjoyed Eric's article
cool.
on climate change. All right, so the town hall displays, I saw we changed it out, thank
Oh,
you.
Yeah, well, I
Um,
thought the October event was over. so I
Yeah.
Put up some other stuff. It was just
Appreciated that.
fun, yeah.
And I think, we don't even have to figure out spring yet, do we? Because
Oh,
spring's
well,
so
no,
far away.
I
Far away.
thought I might update the winter one too pretty soon, for when we actually have snow cover and have maybe suggestions for what you can do with your kids in the snow, photography, tracks always.
Sledding
you
in
know.
Ononda, if you can put something in there about sledding, not
Yes,
everybody
yes.
thinks of it,
Yes,
honestly, but
Yes,
it's.
that just things that you can do in the winter,
Mhm.
snow volcanoes. Have you ever done a snow volcano?
I have not done a snow volcano.
No.
Oh.
Right, we're not gonna get into it now. Some of us have concerts to go to, okay? But I can't wait to hear later.
I wanna know about this.
I know this committee, no, okay.
You could write an article about that, Edith, for the
Okay.
newsletter.
We can have a snow volcano with the electric boat.
There you go.
New business, I don't think there was anything in particular. We already kind of talked about CIC. Did you want to talk about the history team at all, or your tree?
I'm not. I'm
Eric's on history, so Eric's not
Wooden
here,
head,
so.
yes.
Does the history team know about this house coming down on Black Point? On the Black Point?
Yeah, Sarah Linda wanted to visit.
They do, okay, so
Yeah.
they're aware of it, okay. All right, so tree board, anything new?
No, we did not meet. Dennis was ill, so we have not made progress. If I can figure out how to, see, I'm old, but I need to figure out how to do the GPS thing on my phone so I can actually go to the big bur oak tree down on the FLCC campus and figure out whether it's in the town or in Canandaigua or in Hopewell, because we are looking for heritage trees.
Nice. And I told you
on
about the one in
public
my neighborhood,
property.
right?
Yes, we're
It's
sticking with,
HOA,
we're
but-
sticking with public property, with town property
Yeah.
first, but there are some really remarkable trees that people can see that are on town property in, Ononda, in some of the cemeteries, and I think that bur oak tree is probably in the town, and it would be on the campus, so it would be public.
I think you could
Also.
probably put it on the list, even if it's not in the town, it's so darn
Well,
close to
you
it.
can
but-
see it, yes, and we're looking for, we are trying to establish criteria for heritage trees, size, species, attachment to historic events or people, or locations and document them. And, you know, whenever we get this done, I will do a display upstairs with, I have a number of them, like, you know, the big tree in Ononda that was planted as part of the original homestead, the farm. It was lightning rod for the farmhouse. And, you know, probably we will try to do something with some of the hemlock up in the northern part, in the western part of Ananda, if we can find the tree, you know.
We should ask the Historical Society. I know there's a lot of postcards from the area that will of historic sites, and they will actually show the trees as a younger version of themselves. I know the property I grew up on has that, for example,
Yeah.
as a steamboat stop. So.
You know, that's right. And, you know, the Academy Cemetery has a couple of really
Great
remarkable trees. And
Are all of them gonna be recorded, I guess? and
yes, we
either
want to
the layer?
record them. We want to document them and display them, you know, on the town website, and then ask the public to nominate their own trees that might be a heritage tree of some sort, you know. And we're discussing that criteria. We all have our own
Just make
ideas
Dan,
about
Dan
what
Marion
would be.
go out and
Yes.
whatever he says is fine with me.
Yes, well, we're thinking about a point system, you know,
Evaluate.
of size, of age, of species, of whether it's visible to people from public or not, you know.
And
If
historic
it's down in the
significance.
depths of somebody's woods and nobody can go there, you know, so what? So there's a lot of things to consider about it.
There's a tree in the Vista Park.
Oh, is
that, Burnham, the farmer whose descendants worked with the land trust and establishing that. But there's a big hemlock that he used to sit under as he was doing his plowing and cutting. And there's a bench there now. That's-
Yeah, well, that's
those are
another
the kind of trees.
aspect is
Yeah.
the land trust areas where the trees would be accessible and all of that.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
Well, I'm sending you the HOA one. now,
Okay,
so
thank
can
you.
Check it out.
thank
So,
you.
Which
Yes,
according to Dr. Marion Senior, is probably 300+ year old oak.
Yes.
So,
wonderful.
so yeah. He was so excited. Never forget bringing him up there. He was so excited. He's like, I got a new one.
He's great. Yeah.
How's everybody doing on the training? Has everybody got their 8 hours for the year? Everybody?
I'm close.
4, you need 4.
You don't want 8?
You can have 8 if you- Kim has
Oh,
enough for
that's right.
everybody.
I know I'm thinking it because I think the state, you have to have 8 for every 2 years. And they allow it where you can get that all at once or divided
Or
over.
carry it over.
We
Okay.
might be switching to that. I talked to Jared about that just so that we're in
In line with that.
state has there too. So, but it's basically like 4 a year. So, but if you were to do like an 8-hour training, it would cover you for 2 years kind of thing. So, but yeah, if anybody's getting close and not quite there, we would greatly appreciate it if you could get it by the end of the year. So, just
Now, do we have a year-end report that we're doing?
we need to do a year-end report, and I need to talk to Shauna about that. So, and probably you too, Kim. So let's you, Shauna, and I can figure out a time to meet because I think that took a couple of months to do before, and I think we're a little
Yeah.
behind on that. So,
I feel like, didn't we just do one?
there's one every year. There's an annual report.
Gosh, why is that? They just keep coming up.
Yeah.
Time is flying.
We can probably use the current one as a template and kind of go off of that. And I think our big highlights the CB fair. So,
Yeah.
reminds me, we do have extra money that we were going to plant a tree.
Yeah,
So
I
we
was
need
just
to
gonna bring
touch
that
base with the
Mhm.
tree team about
Oh,
where
good.
they would like to put that. So
Okay.
at this point, I think it's probably best that we put it in a park somewhere, just because property near the town hall here is got various thoughts and plans and ideas for the future, and I think within a park might make a lot more sense, so, or we can even touch base with Lindsay on that and see if she's got maybe we should touch base with Lindsay, see where they need a tree, and then the tree team can say, this is what kind of tree would be great for our community.
I know there are plans for trees around the adaptive playground.
Yes, but they're gonna be doing a lot of construction
I
there,
know.
and I'd like to just do something now if we can, so, I mean, we have money this year. might as
Yeah,
well spend
might as
it,
well.
so.
Oh, yes, okay.
And I don't know if they're
Well,
ready for a nice tree at this point, because they're still.
We,
They're still
could
moving
we
dirt.
spend the money by the end of the year, even if we go with like a landscaping business to like get a gift card to secure that tree by the end of the year? Even if we can't maybe
Or you
plant
could
it
order,
until,
I know there's places I order
because
stuff
we have to
from now.
spend by the end of the year.
Yeah, we do have to, we can't encumber anything. at this
Right.
Now we can't.
So we have to make, you know. how
So
we do
I've got to
that.
confirm what
Reserve
we've got
one or
left. I
something.
think I said it last month. I apologize to everyone. I'm a little off because I've been way behind on things for some health issues, but I think, wasn't it around like 500 we
I
had?
thought you said maybe 6, but
It was like five, maybe it was like 6. Okay, it's probably in our minutes that I printed and they're sitting upstairs. But yeah, so we could, would the committee prefer to have one large, very large tree or a couple of smaller trees? So I think that's probably, I think the last, when we bought them before in the spring, it was, I think we gave 400 for one tree, I think. So we could probably do 2 300s or 1 600, which would be a heck of a tree. Any thoughts on?
I do like the idea of larger trees.
What do you
'cause it
think?
takes them
Edith?
so
You're like,
long to
you're
get
the
back.
expert.
No.
Medium
I-
sized
I
tree? or-
know. In general, if it depends on where you put it
Okay,
and, you know, what your plans are for it. It, you know, a large tree and is harder to plant and you get more tree sooner. So,
Mhm.
you know, and if it dies, you've lost
Yeah,
a lot
yeah,
more
a lot
than
more.
ever.
Mhm.
But, you know, there's pluses and minuses on all of those.
Would one go better in the winter planting than a summer planting, a smaller? or
Fall
larger?
planting is the best, but we are
Yeah.
way past that.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's, you know, I,
Is it still
don't think-
plantable now or no?
not by me.
You get
Oh, well, yeah, I would
I
trust
don't
you,
know
so.
if you'd have to talk to the nursery people and see, because it
Kim's
will.
idea, we could buy it now and then have it
Yeah.
TBD springtime planting
Mhm.
day.
Yeah,
Done.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of.
And they should give you a year guarantee anyway.
Most
Yes.
places do now.
Most
Yeah.
do.
White Oak Nursery.
Yep.
Has a lot of native species and
Where's White Oak
the guy,
Nursery?
Not
their
that-
nurseries in town of Canada.
yeah, the
It is,
nursery is,
okay.
yeah, his
It's over
address
by
is
livestock,
Hopewell.
right, somewhere,
Mhm.
I think so.
Is that the one on County Road 10? No.
I can look it up.
Yeah,
I don't know what
That's
size
spring
trees.
something, right?
they do
but
over
he
there.
has all kinds of different things and he was, you know, he
Kip
did some
Road,
planting for
there
me
you go,
over
Kip
in
Road.
Honeyway.
Oh.
When I had a grant to do some planting in Sandy Bottom Park, which I love the name of it. You know, it's the beach.
Sitting on the beach,
Yeah. Somebody had a sense of humor,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, yeah, that's great.
Go away, go away. Kills everybody. I
Okay.
knew a family in
Contacts, there
Solon,
we go.
Kansas, so that's where I used to live. His last name is Bottom.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Kip Road.
Killed
Oh,
200
but they have,
species.
their orchards are within the town. 'cause I know we-
How could you do
Yeah.
that?
Okay.
Have a party.
The mailing address is Geneva, but their nurseries in Canada.
Mhm.
Okay.
And that immediately
So,
left in the
that-
back
that'd be
end,
great.
you know.
So that works
Maybe
really
top.
well, but I think they have some larger things on their site. if I
Large trees and
remember.
shrubs.
Yeah, Jim.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Click on there, maybe it's kind of
but he
preached up a
does,
little bit.
yeah.
Is there a tree type for our area that we need more of?
Sold out, sold out.
I mean, obviously it's gonna depend where we wanna put it, cause some are gonna grow better in a wetter spot, some are gonna grow better on a hill,
Well,
in the
right, river
wind, you know.
birch and paper birch are two different breeds, you know, you can,
Has the
they're not
Tree team
interchangeable.
had any particular area that they particularly identified as needing more trees, like Miller Park or?
We can
Well,
discuss blueberry.
what we have
Oh, yeah.
discussed is that we need trees that are not plant all in a row.
Yeah.
99 yards apart. We need groups of trees
Okay.
because they help each
Yeah.
other. They
Mhm.
look more natural.
Yeah,
You know, if you've got a group of 3 or so, which is what we planted at Outhouse the last time, was in some natural groups.
mhm.
They like to communicate.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
do. They, you know, if you've got oaks, the roots actually interconnect and feed each other, you know.
And having some shrubs and stuff around too would be nice, not just trees.
Yeah.
I need you.
Thank you, Gary.
Have a
you,
great
thank
one.
you,
Hope
Gary.
to see you at the RPO meeting.
Yes, enjoy.
All right, yeah.
You'll like that better than the Condado practice.
Oh, there's one of my
Thank you.
favorites. I love space.
Okay, so is the committee okay with me working with you and with Lindsay, about figuring out what, and we can call you
Yeah,
Edith as
go
well,
for it. Yeah,
Yes.
that's
about
fine.
what we want to buy.
I'm
And then
outlining.
we can maybe purchase and plant in spring, if
Those are very
that's, somebody's willing to work with that.
Well, we can
They are
purchase it
very
now and have it
So
delivered in the
service
spring.
areas.
That too.
Yeah,
And I
Yeah.
believe you
And that'll
can
spend the money
arrange to
now.
pick 'em
Yeah,
up,
yeah, we have to
so
spend it,
Yeah.
so,
You don't need to.
So-
for shipping them.
yeah.
Could do a nice stand of service berry. somewhere.
Oh, that would be beautiful.
I don't think we have a lot of that out in the.
Well,
town
that's,
parks.
yeah, that's wonderful stuff and it's great wildlife habitat things, you know.
Multiple seasons
Yeah.
too to.
Uh-huh, yes.
Yeah, they're
It's really
beautiful in the
pretty.
winter. and they
Yeah,
just
they're
kinda-
really gorgeous trees.
Fun to find on your property with the white blossoms they have.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. I know.
Okay.
First thing in the spring, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Berries are always
Wonderful.
gone every time I go to check.
Oh,
on
you
them.
never, I think I've tasted one. Yeah.
Blueberry.
See by
almond,
the
I'm still
birds
looking
like
for
'em.
it.
I think that's it for our agenda. If anybody else has nothing for the good of the order at all, but
Next meeting would be the 5th.
yeah, the next meeting
Yeah,
will be
next year.
2023.
Oh, my.
The
Happy
year my
holidays,
daughter
Happy New Year.
graduates
Yep.
from high school. My baby.
Many happies.
So, all right, anybody want to make a motion to adjourn?
Yes, please.
In a
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yay.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye.
Shauna. Bye.
Well, that was a quick one for us.
Yeah.